following material may contain sex, coarse language, and violence.
Wise.
Yeah, that way a ruby tree might grow, and you could get more gems.
Tried that with gummy bears, didn't work.
Of course! Of course!
The crowd get well into it.
Yay.
And gathering, the party are well dismayed by the fact that all of a sudden Balgreif is a wizard, which was not in the original draft, which kind of outs him a bit.
I'll lean in and I'll be like, I didn't do that.
The damn actors dropped the third act of the second part. They were supposed to go on and on about the pantaloons. And we had to cut like 50 pages of something about the handsome mouse.
So just like
he's just like speak. They begin setting up for another performance. I mean, the same performance again.
yes.
Oh, I threw it over there in a fit of passion. I said I was never going to need it again.
Why did you make me a wizard?
Be salty for me. Oh, sorry, you must be asking him.
Yeah.
Because you don't know the original. Sorry, my bad.
Well, we haven't left yet, so if he's still there,
No, because he's addressing you.
I didn't. And nor did the original writer. Because I know, because I transcribed them for him. He doesn't write in the local.
Ah, of course. It did have the hand of an off-foreigner. Well, of course, the part of the idea came as a bolt of lightning while we were getting drunk and high on opiates. The idea that Balgreif, whose character in the play was only to be a loyal retainer and deeply in love, by the way, we had to cut the entire romance subplot. It was weighing everything
I
down.
looked to soon.
There was a romance subplot?
It was very wonderful, as all members of the party were deeply in love with the beautiful Shawan, of course. Except, of course, for Radolf, for some reason. He loved only pants. And his pet dog, it was all irrelevant. The crowd wouldn't have swallowed it, so we cut it all out. The idea behind making him a wizard was, because evil wizardry can only be fought by witches, but you can't have a member of the party be witches and answering to someone else. So, what if he was a secret wizard? But a good one! What? It has never been done!
I suppose it gets points for originality and
Actually, the idea was the actor who plays him. Arnold, come over here! Yes, a giant muscle beef who was playing the part of Balgreif wanders over. It was my idea to be a wizard. In truth, I do think it be more moving that dark magic undoes dark magic. It will inevitably turn on itself in reality.
It's a very brave choice, especially given the location.
I've always adopted bold characters. He walks away to eat dumbbells.
Well, he's coming all the time.
Just coming all the time. You didn't like it? It's a visionary, bold move.
No, it was a very interesting take. We were just curious.
Fine work.
What did you think, Sula?
I've never seen the like before.
It was better than Odilo and Catsby.
Saphira's like, no.
I'll be going and looking around, seeing if there's what there is and who's actually watching, if there's anyone in the...
So what did you guys get up to this afternoon?
Oh, there are eyes everywhere. I mean, you didn't make any kind of roll, so...
Oh yes, we might want to talk about that. Am I right?
17.
Does not seem the place.
No. Where's Sulin gone?
Sulin emerges from the crowd like a wraith.
Yes.
Well, I know this is one of your favourite sayings since we arrived here, but we need to talk.
Where?
Usual place.
Let's go then.
Indeed. It's a
It's
choice.
a pick one.
That one. Thank you.
Oh no.
So, you go back to the inn, I guess? Because why should we ever do anything?
Stuff keeps coming up and we have to keep talking
Alright,
about
you
it.
get back to the inn.
I'll find
You
my...
lock yourself in the room.
Right, so what happened?
We done
Perhaps-
fucked up big.
Perhaps Radomir should tell the tale, for he is the one who experienced it firsthand.
I was waiting outside the Arok's throne when I heard a strangled noise coming from a little ways away. I went to investigate, and it was Sir Max on the ground, 2 bolts in his back.
What?
He was surrounded by what I discovered to be 6 more followers of Roman.
So you killed them?
I believe 1 got away.
And Max?
He survived, just. I managed to get him to Saphiro. We got a potion in him after I removed the bolts. He now is in the Temple of Tor.
So who's watching over the temple?
Nobody at the moment.
Tor?
I mean, there are several clerics there.
I
I
don't-
will be returning there this afternoon. I do need to spend some time contemplating.
I'm surprised
some
you
things.
left.
Well, I think we
Was not easy about it, but she did.
should wait,
Press me
at
to
least
leave.
outside, because if they've tried to attack once, they'll try to attack again.
In a temple, though?
That would be most foolish.
Or when he leaves the temple. There's someone sent message to his father.
There is a growing sound of commotion outside the building.
Oh,
Outside
we
what
would not
building?
know how
The one
to
you're
get
in.
hold of his father.
We can check that from one of the windows in the other room. You hear that, right?
Yours is the only room with a window.
Where's Eaton?
Yeah,
Around?
she's just in his room.
I'll go to my room and check out the window.
Okay, so there's a bunch of there's like a wave of people heading down north, and guards' towers are like waving pennants. You can see pointing over there. If you lean out the window a bit and look down, you can see that it seems something in the temple district is on fire.
Guys!
what?
The temple district's on fire?
What? The whole district?
I'm gone.
Yeah, I'm gone too after exclaiming that.
Okay, so you get out there, you realise it's not the whole district. There's a fire.
Yeah, but
I couldn't see that well from where I was.
I'll be running to the Temple of Tor.
You guys arrive at the flaming wreckage of what was the Temple of Tor.
That is very bold.
What's really bold is that there's clearly a charred corpse.
Just the one?
Just one?
Just one. Guardsmen are organising a bucket chain, and you guys get pressed into service because you're big and
Absolutely,
strong
yeah.
looking. Eventually, they're able to soak down enough of the neighbouring buildings so that they're not completely lost. But the Temple of Athater and Temple of Nematia are pissed. And the Temple of Tor isn't there anymore.
Wait. What was the Temple of Tor made of?
It had a stone column rib cage and hardwood pudding basin shape.
Okay.
The wood was painted in a pattern like the traditional brickwork of around there. So basically
Okay.
what you've got now is a large sort of set of stone
Yeah,
ribs.
because I thought it was mostly stone, so that's why I was like...
Most of the temples in this district are stone.
This one was specifically like
A pudding, it's shitty little
a
pudding
really
basin thing.
shitty one because they didn't want it in the main city as well.
You find yourself standing beside Otolo.
Did anybody see what happened?
It was beautiful.
What?
Sometimes fire is more enchanting than a sunrise. Well, I better go. Someone else is like, if temple burst into flames, must have been the god's will. Wicked evil temple, that one. Always telling people what to do.
Stay thy hand, Saphira. Stay thy hand. It is only an ignorant peasant who knows not better.
Squeak. The guards begin like poking around in there. Going, well, it is clear what happened here. It burned down.
Yes, but it didn't burn down by itself.
Are we able
No,
to
there's
go
a
in?
slight damage to the two side.
Are we able to go into the wreckage and stuff? And there's a charred body,
I
right?
can imagine the guards would try and stop you.
Saphira, do you think you could get us closer to that body if we could identify whether it was the clerical or a man?
I'll run over the guards.
Oh,
You have to let me in. My friend was inside.
then I'm afraid your friend is dead. Nothing survived the blaze.
I need to see. You have to. And I'll try
I
to,
will
like-
approach
I'll
and
try
I
to,
will
like, push
pull
past
out my
him.
holy symbol. Saphira, cleric of Tor,
Guard.
please let me past.
9.
This was my temple.
You own the temple.
I am of the temple.
Then we will want to question you for your suspicious activity.
I try to
9. 9.
push past
Remain
him.
back.
Like
Do not interfere with the dead.
his strength check to
Okay.
continue muscling past him. Oh, I fail it in a wondrous fashion.
Wonder.
Yeah, you are easily repulsed.
He's
I'll,
easily repulsive.
I'll just sort of.
What do your suspicious group know about this?
We know that... I know it is a temple of Tor, for I am a servant of Tor, and that a recent nobleman was brought here to be healed after assassins tried to kill him, and then this happened.
I'll drop to my knees, slumping, arms and shoulders. It was Sir Max.
9.
No.
Only the cleric is dead.
Only the
One
cleric.
of the other clerics.
What other clerics?
There's
There's only the
There
one.
was only ever one.
I thought there was
No.
more, but she was just... okay.
Well, I mean, there weren't any in there.
there was no one else.
At the Temple of Tor? No, of course not. No one goes in there. Dumpy little
Stand
pudding
up,
bowl that it is.
straighten.
And good riddance.
We've been circulating around trying to figure out if there was anybody.
Approaching is a group of guards surrounding a lank-haired, muscular gentleman wearing way too much body armor, carrying a spear. And they're heading in the direction of the temple.
How did you get
I'll
this?
return back quickly and Saphira, be ready. Right, he comes. I'm going to disappear for a minute.
Woof, bark, tug, tug.
I look down at...
He's like pulling on your cloaky
Okay.
roby thing.
Yeah, I'm looking... Or is she like actually trying to pull me
Yeah,
away?
it's like, get the fuck away, he's
Okay.
coming.
It will not do to stay here.
You'll pay for this.
Woof, bark, bark.
I'm already blending off into the ground.
And Sulan's going.
Look at the way which Eden wants us to.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
away
Yeah.
from Roman. So I assume you're spying. Alright, give me a difficult hearing check.
Do you want?
I want difficult hearing.
It says percentile. Sorry, 20, isn't it?
3 or less. Yeah. Well, 3, 2, or 20.
It's 14. It's a good thing I got lip reading.
Roman and his guys arrive. His guards replace
The guards.
the guards and send them packing. He pokes around it a bit, talks to one of his guards, talks to this guy who came out of the Temple of Namatia, and then he and some of his guards leave, leaving the rest of his guards there. You overheard nothing. He was looking quite pleased, but not super happy. Just like a little mild smugness.
And on the way he's leaving, there's no opening for me to
Shoot.
approach him.
No, his guards are doing their job.
Yeah.
These
These actually fit the armor.
these guys fit the armor better.
Yeah.
They look like they know what they're doing. Sulin easily finds the rest of the group, who were just like a couple of temples over enjoying the crow hedges.
Saphiro.
Oh man, didn't you used to have another?
Saphiro.
What happened to that?
What?
Yes, I know you're angry. I stayed back and watched what was going on.
And what happened?
He talked to the one of the may have been priests of Namatia. He did not look happy, but
Saphiro's religion proficiency allows him to know that there are such things as male priests of Namatia, but they generally don't hold down temples unless they're obviously in charge.
Okay.
So, how well was he dressed? She would tell you not very. Then he can't have been a priest, not in that temple.
Okay. What was this priest? What did this priest look like?
not well. He
It's just like a peasant.
Very humble, peasanty looking.
very humble peasant.
And it was a man.
Yes.
I would think that Luna has some kind of direct influence in that.
Which my issue here is, where's Sir Max?
You can only hope
Wasn't
he
a-
got
if
away.
If the body was the priestess.
She may have sacrificed herself too.
How about this? It was never Sir Max. Roman can use doppelgangers. He didn't talk to you, right? He was injured. So what if he started the fire?
Do doppelgangers bleed normal blood?
While it is in contact with them, yes. When it drips, it would turn into doppelganger blood.
Crossbow bolt.
Blood. Red. Not clear goo.
It was him.
The DS9 change, the shapeshifter rules kind of apply, where it's it just sort of takes a little bit for it to revert, and then
Yeah.
it sort of reverts. Less than a minute.
While I've got it, a quick examine of the bolt.
That's a hefty, thick-ass bolt.
What were they firing though? Those what?
Big, heavy unit of a crossbow. Much greater than my one.
That's in the middle of a city. That's a waste of time.
Two in
It's also reckless endangerment.
his back and one deflected off my armor.
You're lucky.
I mentioned they aren't stupid enough to have any engravings or anything like that.
Hell no.
That's Roman, of course they are.
No indicative design.
Two big R's.
About the
The
bolt.
property of Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Secretly not of House Draconin, don't tell anyone.
Only for assassins.
Well, we must find Sir Max because he's obviously after him.
If he escaped and wasn't taken.
The way that Roman looked, I don't think he was.
You said he went to the Temple of Namatia, right?
He talked to someone that came out of the temple.
Why don't we talk to someone from the Temple of Athater? See if they saw anyone leave the Temple of Tor, or go into the Temple of Tor.
I mean, I was thinking of asking the surrounding temples, but it seems like Namatia is not one to ask now.
No, so I think that's
Hand reaches out of nowhere and grabs Saphiro. Another one grabs Adrian and pulls them into an alleyway.
Yep.
X. Go to run into alleyway.
There's a tall, dark-haired woman who just, like, throws you both against the wall. Are you idiots?
Yes.
Walking through the middle of town, having that conversation, anyone can hear you. I heard you.
I thought we were in an alleyway.
You are now.
No, I thought we were, because we wouldn't have been having that conversation in the open, would we?
Everywhere is the open.
We absolutely would have.
Everywhere is the open end.
Everywhere is. This is a big, thick, packed city.
I literally imagine we were like in between two buildings, like.
Yeah, you
like
are
talking
now.
like
Like
this.
in the.
Yeah, but I figured there weren't many people around here.
So what's your excuse?
For...
Look, the Temple of Tor burns down. Right after you two visited.
Yes.
And I'm expected to believe this is a massive coincidence?
It is not a massive coincidence.
So
Max had an assassination
Oh, Sir
attempt
Max.
against him.
Oh.
He was
I
in
liked
grave
him.
condition, so we took him to the temple to get healed.
And now he's dead. Good.
And apparently, yes, it burned down within moments.
Great. Good job.
But his body wasn't in there.
Oh, well, that's good. So it hasn't been a complete loss.
But we don't know where it is. And we can't get in to look for any clues because Roman's guards are surrounding the area.
Those are Romans guards.
I mean, if the
That's
Romans guards,
interesting.
I don't feel as bad about fighting them.
And that will bring too much attention down on us.
I mean, having a big open fight in the middle of the day is probably not a terribly great idea.
There was no other choice.
They found the cloak, by the way. They're blaming it on assassins.
Well, it kind of was. Just Romans assassins.
Is there anything else found there?
A lot of blood. Dead bodies. Like, apparently 20 or 30 large, big, swole guys
Yeah,
must have set upon them.
must have been.
Also, Saphira, while you're at it,
Yes, I do owe you an apology.
No,
I
no,
do.
no, no.
but we'll leave it
But
for
we're
later.
just going to leave it at that for now.
Look, I have to go back over the wall before night. What do you want?
We need to know where Sir Max is. But
Really?
we'll look for that here.
Yeah, good. So what do you want? You've got like maybe 2 days left before you can get into the city, so
Which we should be in now, but
you need
Could
to
you
tell
try to get
me-
word
you
to
can
his
find any
father
clue-
about what happened?
Yes, that would be good for starters.
I guess I could do that. That won't be
Although,
easy, but I could do
then
it.
again, maybe it might not be a good idea to let his father know that he's alive just yet.
no, it's not that he's alive, that he was attacked.
His father already has suspicions about Roman.
Certainly about something. Max stopped meeting with us all of a sudden after he had that one meeting with his father. Also, Sir Reinhard has been notably absent lately. I'm a bit concerned about... I mean, he's a big guy, but it seems like anybody who's had any positive relationship with us lately...
It's because Roman.
Yes.
Roman. Anyone who knows you is a target. Why do you think I don't know you?
So what do we...
Well, if you can do anything...
Incidentally, someone at the Witchers College has put out like a big red flag on a white-haired Caesarian-looking boy who claims to be from Wintilda. Also, they've sent out a band of like 13 witches to go grab your parents and bring them here.
But why?
To prove you're Burmanian and not from Caesarea.
Oh.
That's going to take weeks to do anyway.
You know, I hear you have come into a lot of money. It would be a charitable, noble act if you were to settle his parents in any other country.
You could do that.
Romania is a piece of... No offense. Romania is a pile of shit.
It really sucks.
Maybe
just-
somewhere nice like Serenia where it's warm.
Zernia is nice.
Or Merland where it's a highly unstable political climate and There's going to be open rebellion soon. By the way, there's going to be open rebellion soon.
Why? Who?
The Eastern Counts have banded together to overthrow the king because he's cursed, as they say, and the lands are suffering and the people need proper leadership. They're ignoring royal edicts and governing the land the way they think it should be governed, which is actually better.
Which is making it worse.
People. They've sent messages to the Duke to come back and lead a rebellion against the king, which he would never do. I hear.
He was long overdue, wasn't he? I will leave it at that, but I just remember that the one who sent us here did want to know what was happening with him as well.
Don't trust that dog. She's a bitch.
She doesn't like you either.
I better watch myself.
I don't understand why you both hate each other so much.
Well, according to Booker T's wife, women just hate each other all the time. There's just concentrated hatred squirting from their nipples.
If you could do anything to help us get into the town and bypass this...
We already know we're being
block.
kept out for no reason.
Yeah,
Oh,
yes.
no, I know why you're being kept out.
Yeah, because...
Because the Viscount,
Exactly.
Viscount Maxwell, has placed an order with the guards that's not an official order, but no one's going to cross him.
Exactly.
He owns the nut farms and the silver mines. This probably shouldn't get your hopes up, but there's a possibility that I might be able to arrange a meeting with someone with a bit of influence, with
I mean,
a low-ranking member of one of the houses.
Radomir and I did manage to briefly get past the other night,
Yeah,
just because of the festival.
and we're going to have to discuss that at some point. You giant, handsome, feckless idiot.
What
Which
did I do
one?
wrong?
It's later, other time.
You look like you need to relax.
I need sleep,
Exactly.
but I'm not getting it. So anyway, I'm leaving now. We've been tucked away in here too long. Rip, rip, rip. She pushes away to the other. Get your hands off me, you brute! He runs away.
She's still talking to me.
Just.
For now.
Well, what do we plan to do?
It's at this point I should point out, now the sun is like sort of over the bit where the long shadows are being created. It is a blisteringly hot day.
But we should still do our efforts to try and find out what happened to our missing friend.
Go, I'll follow.
So where are you guys going?
Atherturk Temple for a start.
No
if
problem.
if the guards don't surround that as well, so that we
No,
can't.
no problem. There's a man wearing a Templar nappy, and he's sort of leaning on his holy staff, which is a hoe. You guys walk up and he greets you with a warm smile. He's like, "Greetings, greetings! What a wonderful warm day it is.
Yes, it's quite sweltering.
You walked up with a purpose.
Yes.
Well, how can Atherturk?
Would you mind if we spoke inside the temple, away from?
Of course not. Of course not. You all are welcome to Atherturk's temple." He'll kick open the little wooden door and lead you inside the mud hut. Well, it's a clay temple made entirely out of natural elements and stones.
Who else is inside?
There's another cleric tending a small garden altar. They turn around with looking pleased as you enter.
I'm gonna do a perception check on any
And
other.
then they see you two and they're like, "4?
Oh, I'm not there. I'm outside.
Okay."
I'm gonna make a
In
perception
that case,
check
there's
on
no reaction.
any people who are in here. using religious roll to see if any others fit the same bill as that. I think that's actually a bust. 18?
There's just the two clerics. The candlelit little earthen room.
Did you happen to see anything of the events of the fire from this afternoon?
No, we were inside the temple tending the small garden altar, and then we heard the commotion and ran outside.
And what did you see when you got out there? Well, how far?
Oh, there was a lot of fire. The cleric woman tried to stumble out, but she was wreathed in flames. We couldn't get close enough to put her out with earthenware.
Was there anyone else with her? Or any other people you saw?
I don't think so.
She wasn't carrying anything, or?
No, not that I recall.
Were there others out there when you came out?
Oh yes, very busy this time of morning. Everyone on their way to see this new play that's going on.
I'm sure the
Apparently
fire,
it's quite scandalous.
the fire probably drew a lot of attention.
It usually does. Everyone's concerned when there's a fire. It could spread too easily. That's why we have such clever, wide streets. You know, the Archduke actually mandated these clear, wide streets. He's a visionary genius. Nothing is wrong.
Of course.
Can we offer any temple services?
Unless you could resurrect the dead cleric from the temple.
Such services are deeply costly, and with so much of the body charred away, I'm not sure the result would be good.
That's what I was afraid of.
The cost isn't really a problem, though. Should we not
Yeah,
at
no,
least try?
But
The
the
cost-
result might be disastrously bad.
She might end up in basically a charred husk of a body still living inside it. It's not a...
It might be unpleasant.
Yeah. Some would prefer death.
Of course, if we had a high cleric here, we could certainly make a restorative attempt. It's a nice fresh body, but we don't, unfortunately.
Do you know of any...
Metadata. You need to be level 14 cleric to be able to bring back a burn victim.
Do you know of any of the other temples in the district who might be able to...
Out here? No, I don't think so. We can make inquiries if you wish.
Please do.
Very good. We'll pull the other cleric over and send them running off. Is there aught else we can do? Don't you just want to kiss these lips?